Okay.
In person.
Live.
Mixed Monkey Arts 10.
Live.
All right?
Live.
It's cold. I'm fucking cold. I'm back in New Jersey. I don't like it here.
Live.
I like it here. I don't like the weather here.
Live.
Kennedy Neschukwu versus Lucas Brzezinski.
Hasn't started yet, so not live.
Kennedy Neschukwu. He stepped in on short notice on this fight, and he is an overwhelming favorite. And it feels like that should be the case, but it also feels like the people in Vegas want people to make some money. So I'm not saying put your money on Lucas, but I'm just saying there's a reason those odds are like that. Okay? It's going one of the ways.
One of the ways. I'm going with Nigeria on this one. Call me a fool. I'm voting for Kennedy. Vote for the Kennedy.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an overwhelming night of favorites. Truthfully, I still did my underdog parlay. Well, technically he came up with the idea, but the point being, I am also going Kennedy Neschukwu.
Yes, I hate betting on Kennedy. Like, I'm just...
Why? Because of the Carlos Ulberg fight?
Because that
was that one.
But he looked so good in the last fight, man. He looked so good in the last one. Man. Since he's gone up in weight, he's looked good. And, heavyweights suck. So...
They're a bunch of blobs.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, a lot of them are over the hill. Speaking of over the hill, we have Clay Guida versus Chase Hooper. This is a hell of a stepping stone. Like, there's ways that you build fighters up, but it says minus 1050. Do you know who Chase Hooper is? Minus 1050 for Chase Hooper. I never thought in my life I would see those odds. Those are Bo Nickel odds. But it's against Clay Guida. The age gap is 17 years, right?
Yeah. Listen. Yeah. But this is a must-win. I mean, if the kid's ever gonna for both technically, I guess. But realistically, if Hooper can't beat an aging Clay,
you might have to just cut him.
And not like it's not. And I'm not saying that as in Clay's trash. I'm not saying like Guida's trash. It's just. At this point in his career, where Chase wants to be, where Hooper wants to get to, you got to go through this kind of matchup, this adversity. You got to win. You got to find a way to get this done. And honestly, I'm calling a finish here, man. I'm calling a finish here.
Oh, my bets definitely include a Chase Hooper finish.
Absolutely.
He was wearing a Dark Souls shirt, and it made me like him a bit more. I like Chase. Chase is cool. I remember when he went to South Carolina to train with Wonder Boy, and I liked that whole... Like, he was just getting his ass whipped over there because the kid had no hands at the time, and he knew it. He had no fucking hands.
Yeah.
But, speaking of a fucking match that is going to be no hands, Michael Chiesa and Max Griffin.
Hands.
They are the most technical-looking fighters I've ever seen. They look like they should have so much technique, but they really don't. And it's why they're not elite level fighters.
Yeah.
Like, Chiesa knocked down Masvidal one time. Oh, he hits hard. Max Griffin,
whatever.
Shouldn't this guy have been... He was part of the Colby Covington, era. The Mike Perry, Kamaru Usman, Vicente Luque. He was part of that crowd. He just... Yeah, he never rose to the top. By the way, if it wasn't clear, Chase Hooper for my last pick. And for this one, this really is a pick'em. And it's so hard to go with somebody, but I'm going to have to go Max Griffin because Chiesa, I don't know. I don't like what he did in his last fight, but that's just...
I'm also going Max Griffin strictly because I think Max Griffin is a pretty dope name.
It is a pretty dope name.
It's a dope name.
All right, Cody Durden versus Joshua Van. I wouldn't...
This matchup is either going to be one of the best of the night or one of the worst of the night, and there's no guessing it. Like, I just feel like it depends who shows up, you know?
Yeah.
Both of these guys can put on stinkers when they want to.
It's not even stinkers. It's people are riding high on Joshua Van being this guy who's coming up, and he might be part of this next generation that's going to start, touching the belt and everything. It's the fight...
Touch and blow the belt?
It's the fight that you realistically look at as, is this guy eventually going to be a title contender? Because, this title is on the line, main event. But depending, as you said, who comes in correctly, man. I am gonna have to go Joshua Van, but this is a pick. I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Yeah, I'm also going Joshy, but if close my eyes, can I see a world? Yeah, I could definitely see a world where Joshua Van's a bum. Like, it's just not, look, call it how it is. I can see a world like that. So, I mean, I'm going Joshua Van, but if I could avoid putting him on the parlay, I will avoid putting him on the parlay.
I would avoid putting this fight on a parlay, definitely. Another fight I would be a little iffy putting on a parlay, but I did put it on one. Chris Weidman and Eric Anders. I'm going to go with Weidman. Weidman didn't look bad against Bruno Silva, but I'm going to be honest, Bruno Silva is... his time in the sun was getting beaten up by Alex Pereira.
We don't talk about Bruno.
And that's kind of the peak of his career, and I don't say that disrespectfully. I say that as it made Chris Weidman look good. And Eric Anders, another guy who he's never gonna sniff the top 10. Maybe he gets lucky and wins a top 15 fight, but he's kind of at the later portion of his career. He's 37 years old. But I do believe Chris Weidman is a much more well-rounded fighter. His chin is, I don't know, is it there? Is it not? It doesn't seem like it's reliable. So if this is ending, Chris Weidman by WrestleFuck or Eric Anders by knockout. But I'm going to go Weidman on this one.
And literally my take on this fight is... It's kind of like, so I've never done this, but I've heard stories that like some people in New York, they'll go to like two homeless people and like throw $1 and be like, oh, let's see who gets it. That's kind of what's going on here. These are just two bums to me. Chris Weidman isn't the same guy, and he's just not. He hasn't been. Oh, you snuck out a win. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. And fuck Eric Anders too. Bums. Bum fight. Bum alert. Whoever loses should get the fuck out of here. Bums. That's how I feel about that fight.
People like to refer to the next guys as, I guess, sorry.
They switched up the
Yeah.
They switched it up.
They switched it up.
It's because Battle came in heavy.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
4 pounds.
Brian, 4 pounds. That's tough. And I agree with Randy. You knew you weren't going to make weight, and you should have told your opponent the day before.
I agree.
You did make him suffer more by not telling him. You know what's been killing me?
What's up?
Why is it every time a UFC fighter gets like a hint of notoriety because of something they said in the like post-fight thing or anything, they immediately lose their hype train by doing something stupid the very next fight? And I'm sorry, but Brian Battle is now one of those guys where you had a lot of people saying what you said. Like, you thought the Butcher was going to come in and lose in a fist fight to a French dude. Yeah, it's probably not verbatim, but you get the point. It was cool, but now you missed weight by 4 pounds. And it's not a good look. And Randy Brown, he's good. Randy Brown is good. He's a guy that, as he continues to, figure out how to use his body, he fucking lost to Nico Price, but that's when he was younger. He's not that same fighter, and that position anybody could have been caught in. I don't think anybody was expecting that, but I am still gonna have to go Brian Battle on this one, certainly for the fact that he came in 4 pounds over. So
I swear, if Brian Battle becomes the new like Gaslam, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
That'd be tough.
That
would suck. Clearly a guy with title aspirations and clear talent to be able to do it, and then not being able to, achieve those dreams.
That being said, did you see Brian on the scale? Like obviously he's gonna be sad he missed weight, but he also he looked weird. He looked sunken in. I didn't like it. I didn't like his vibe.
Yeah,
but I didn't like his vibe.
What happens when a fat guy loses weight.
No. Fatty McFatty looked on. I wasn't fucking with the vibe. He gave me a bad vibe. I'm gonna still bet him, but I'm definitely not putting this on any parlay. I'm staying away. You get one parlay out of me, Brian, and that's it. It's like I didn't like the vibe I got from him for sure.
I understand. I get it. I'm still gonna have to go with him. So we're gonna be on opposite sides of the fence on that one. Let's see. Okay, we might be divided here too.
No, wait. I'm also going Brian Battle.
Oh, you're going Brian? Okay, never mind.
I'm never betting on Randy Brown. What the fuck are you talking about? Next fight.
Damn. Why this is on the prelims? To get people to watch the prelims. Plain and simple. It shouldn't be a prelim fight.
I heard Aljo
Hunter Campbell and Sean Shelby run shit now.
Aljo was pissed.
You understand how this goes. It's all about. Listen, I'm not saying that they're doing a bad job. I think they're starting to learn, especially with the custom shorts. But it's very clear who they do like and who they don't like. And as a company as big as you are, putting on fights, and I understand you have to make money and it's about entertainment, show a little bit of respect. You know, do some things behind the scenes with the fighters. Not like Vince McMahon style, but, you know. And I wish Dana White would start talking to the fighters again. I wish he would go back and, you know, do the job he used to do. In terms of this fight, this is going to be a fantastic fight. If this isn't... I think people are going to be surprised. This might be the sleeper of the night. Mozart and Aljamain. Because Brown and Battle is going to be the banger of the night. 100%. That's going to be fireworks. But Mozart and Aljamain, I'm going Aljamain. I'm going to be very... I see the world where Mozart wins. But I'd much rather Aljamain win just because I don't give a fuck about Evil Ev. What? He beats a debuting Diego Lopez, and most people remember the fight as, well, Diego Lopez took it to him. So how much notoriety does this guy have? His skill level. Oh, by the way, you did lose your last fight by finish. Yes, he did lose to Arnold Allen. That's the world that I choose to live in, because perfectly legal knees. The fight should have been stopped. It was very clear. You were done.
Refs are gonna ref.
Refs are gonna ref.
For me, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Aljo. I think I've said it before. I put it on the podcast. He's just not my guy. Not my cup of tea. Find him a little boring, right? But I can respect what he's done. It's kind of crazy that he's like. So I don't particularly am angry when some of the quote unquote bigger names or stars hit prelims. I just found it was very quick for Aljo, and I don't even like the guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like he didn't lose. You know, so that's my point there. As much as I'm not a big fan of Aljo, he definitely should have been on the main card. As far as this fight goes, is Evil Dagestani?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Or he's flirting with it.
He doesn't eat sugar, so.
He looked ridiculously jacked.
Yeah, seriously, I'm about to stop eating sugar completely.
I'd never eat sugar in my life.
No, never. Not once. But yeah.
So, it might be coming full circle. Mm-hmm. In order for my prediction of stopping the Dagestanis to come true,
exactly,
I might have to rely on people that I hated the most. So I might be back on Aljo train.
Yeah.
If Aljo wins this fight, I'll be a diehard Sterling fan. You heard it here first. If he wins this fight.
Listen, man, that dude slam dunked Calvin Kattar on his head. Everybody wants to forget about that because it was at UFC 300. That shit was dope. If that shit happened on a Fight Night main event, everybody would be praising Aljo.
Fair enough.
All fucking biased. I don't give a shit.
Fair enough. That's Aljo. You want my love? Go get the job done.
The $7 man himself, Themba Gorembo, and Vicente Luque. Dude, Jeff Neal made this man's brain bleed, and he's never been the same
Never been the same since.
And
it's fucking sad, dude.
He reminds me of like a Santiago Ponzinibbio now, where like he just had that one fucking health thing that just derailed everything. And, you know, here we are. I'm going to have to go with the $7 man. The Rock has already invested in him. He's on a 5-fight win streak. Vicente Luque is heading out the door. I see the world where he wins by submission due to WrestleFuck. But I think Themba probably prepared enough for that, considering he showed he's probably going to wrestle because of the RDA fight. Mm-hmm. So, $7.
Yeah, I'm also on them, but it's a shame. Like, you know, Luque is just not the same. Like, and it's sad. It's sad. The man had some real promise. And it's a shame. I hope somehow he's able to get it together. The fairy tale story, you know, he gets it back and maybe he goes on a run. Like, that'd be a cool story. But Until I see it, I can't believe it. So, put me down for Themba.
All right. Title implications are on the line.
It's like every
Dominic
time.
Reyes.
This guy's
and
on every
Anthony
card.
Smith.
I see him everywhere. He haunts me in my dreams. This guy.
Dude, the two dudes who arguably beat John Jones. Both of them have an argument.
I hate this.
Both of them came so close to taking that belt off the GOAT. But fate would have it, they would have to meet up to then fight the new champ of the division, Alex Bejeda. Anthony Smith's got some history with him. Honestly, if you asked me who would you rather see Alex fight, Smith or Hill, I'd probably pick Smith. Just because... We'll get into the Hill thing later. Either way, I think this is a very clear... You want to talk about odds? Minus 340 is not enough. It's not enough. Plus 270 is not enough. You had 5 plus 540 something. This is probably gonna be a first round finish. I mean,
Dominic Hands Reyes. That's it.
Dominic Hands Reyes. Yes.
That's it. I don't want to hear. I can't talk anymore about Anthony Smith, man. It's every time. I think I can't. What more can I say?
You guys don't understand.
What more can I say? If you don't get that reference, go check out the other videos. There's nothing more that I could possibly say. I feel like I'd just be bullying him if I say anything else. I'm going to cut it at that, okay?
Dominic Reyes.
Dominic Reyes.
First round KO.
I'm going to bet the first round KO.
I'm going to be honest, it's probably the lock of the card. If not that, then a finish by Chase Hooper. God, I hope. I hope he comes in correct. Nate versus Duho Choi.
Nate Duho Choi. First time that happened.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go the Korean Superboy on this one. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're both like old in a way. I know the Korean looks young, but that's just how they look. This man has been through he fought fucking Cub Swanson. I know Cub Swanson is still fighting. I know that. But that was a fight of the year candidate back in like 2015, 2016. Yeah, this man's been around the hill. He was a little after the Korean Zombie and everything, but they're both old. But I gotta go with Duho Choi. I have to hope his chin is in there enough and his Taekwondo ancestors speak to him enough that he can go out there and do it.
So I have a similar analysis, right? Yeah. I also thought, wow, these guys are old. So I'm going to pick the younger looking one. So Duho Choi for me. Very simple here. Very simple.
Can't go wrong with that.
Very simple here.
Yeah. Bryce Mitchell versus Crone Gracie. This is the fight they switched Evil Evan. Bro, the Gracie treatment is crazy. Gracies and Nurmagomedovs have Dana White privilege like I've never seen before. And I don't know how it is that you earn that, but I want to know. This man, Crone Gracie, is 37 years old. You think he's going to fight for a title? Seriously, even if you told me he had 3 more years, I know people think he's good at jiu-jitsu. I know about the Gary Tonin and Marcelo Garcia. I've seen him. I've watched him. Of course he's good. But that doesn't necessarily translate to MMA. It's why in MMA, Sambo almost always, I would say they have like 9 out of 10 times Sambo beats Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in MMA. If it's straight grappling, you can look to one championship because they've tested this. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will beat Sambo. Basically, 9 times out of 10. And it's just due to the fact that Sambo, it's not complete on the ground. It's just not. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu integrates way too many things that have to do with the legs and arms that it's just not taught in Sambo. They can easily learn it. Just go by, I don't know, some instructional. Craig Jones, Gordon Ryan, I don't know.
Just better science.
But his jiu-jitsu is not good enough to, I think.
I thought he was like one of the worst Gracies, no? Wasn't that like a thing? I could have sworn I heard that was a thing.
No,
not that I'm saying that. I don't follow him like that.
Not Crone.
But there's one, which is the one that they're like, this guy's trash. I don't know.
I won't say names, but that Gracie knows who they are, for different reasons.
For different reasons.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with the flat earther on this. I think I just think Bryce is too. Have you heard him rap?
No.
He can rap.
Good for him.
He can fucking rap. He can rap. And I don't like his rap.
It's
It's not
he
my.
can do it.
Like, you know.
Objectively, he can do it. Is it good? I don't know.
He had one line. It said, God, it said something about the weather, and I ain't no McGregor. And that was the one line that I caught, and I was like, that's a pretty tough line.
Oh, good for him.
But yeah, I'm going Bryce Mitchell on this. The fuck are we having Crone Gracie fight for?
Yes, I'm on the same boat, but again, a lot simpler thought process here. Okay. Bryce Mitchell once had my favorite submission in UFC.
Twister?
Yeah.
Yeah,
at the time, like
awesome.
especially that year, it was my favorite submission of the year. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I like him.
Korean
I like
Zombie, first one to ever do it.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that one.
You want to know what you should have seen?
What?
The first fight. The first time these people fought. Ciryl Gane, Alexander Volkov. This is what happens when no one knows how to do their job in entertainment. This is what happens when we're so log jammed at the top. We have so many fucking blobs when we don't... Am I going to go after Dana White? Listen, man, there's a lot of people in the NFL that would clearly be phenomenal heavyweights. These people are athletes. And we have Where's Waldo defeating a guy like Robelis Despain. That's crazy. The blobs are still here. The fat guys have not left. Not saying they're fat, clearly. These are two of the best strikers in the division.
Shut up. Fatty McFatties. It's the heavyweight. They're all fat. They're all fat.
John Jones is fat.
He is fat. They're all fat.
John Jones is
It's
fat.
okay. There's nothing wrong with being fat. I'm fat. Who cares? But no, seriously, we got to figure something out for the heavyweight division. It's atrocious. It's atrocious. It's atrocious. I mean, no fucking wonder John Jones is doing John Jones right now in that division, because this division sucks. Sucks.
For everybody saying he's ducking Tom.
Sucky division.
He is. But if you don't consider him the GOAT, you haven't looked at the stats. He has just as many title defenses in total as Mighty Mouse now does. And some of y'all don't even consider him the GOAT. So realistically, if we're including steroids, it's only John Jones and DJ at this point. You have to be objective. One dude went to another organization, won their Grand Prix belt, lost to the champ, and then beat the champ in the same fucking way, but cooler, and then decisioned him in the third fight as the much older guy. He fought a mixed rules bout, which John Jones would never do. He pulled out of a fight, a short notice fight, with Chael Sonnen. Chael fucking Sonnen, really. I love the guy. Undisputed and undisputed, but... You know what I mean? On steroids, off steroids, John Jones or DJ are kind of the clear guys. You can say GSP, but if we're strictly doing numbers, not level of competition.
I think John Jones, cocaine John Jones, I think could take the whole roster by himself. It's just the whole roster. Give him a couple lines to stop him.
That is what that means, actually. His title, baddest man on the planet, he could.
Give him some cocaine, it's over.
Like, Ciryl Gane, beautiful striking. Best striking. Yes, it is better than Tom Aspinall's. I'm sorry. Tom Aspinall is willing to get hit to then trade. And he doesn't have pillow hands. He just pulls back his punches so he can throw faster. It's not that he's pillow-handed. He's leaning more into punches now, which is why you see more knockouts and his finishing rate going up as opposed to before. He's still a fucking heavyweight.
It's categorically a bum.
Categorically a bum.
Heavyweight. Categorically.
But
I don't make the rules.
I eventually want to see the Ciryl Gane. Honestly, Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall 2 should be the fight that's happening right now if everything went according to plan, where Ciryl Gane, called out Tom Aspinall when he fought in France, and Tom was fucking there doing his obligation, doing his job. Even the UFC, heavily disrespecting Tom. That man has shown up to every fucking event that he's never been invited to. And he has showed out, and you continue to let Hunter Campbell and Sean Shelby run shit like that. Like, cool, they give us cool new shorts, but treat your fighters with more respect. You are a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm sorry for the rants, but you can promote this man more. You really can.
We do get shorts.
But we do get shorts.
I'm just saying.
Overall, I gotta go with Ciryl Gane on this one. It's gonna be similar to the first fight. I don't.
Oh, did you see the presser with Volkov? Sorry to cut you off.
No, it is.
I think it was Volkov. He said, because I think he was talking about Ciryl Gane. He said something like, "Oh, how hard does he hit?" And Volkov was like, well, not hard enough because we went to decision or some shit like that.
He probably said it,
Yeah, some shit like that. It was actually pretty funny, and he had, he has a little accent. Well, not little, but he has his accent. It was funny. It was funny. That's about as much as I know about the guy. I think Ciryl Gane wins. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I think it's going to be a wrestle fuck. It's going to be boring. It's going to be Ciryl Gane by decision. We're all going to be there, okay. Get out of the way.
Striking wrestle fuck. Nothing enough to knock him out, but just enough to look cool.
Little baby rabbit punches.
Yes, actually.
A shit ton of rabbit punches.
Fucking yes, Ciryl Gane does rabbit punch. 100%.
A shit ton of rabbit punches.
Speaking of funny, dude, this next guy is low-key funny as hell. Shavkat. Shavkat is funny. Go watch his... And I'm sorry for saying this name. Go watch his interview with Nina Drama. But the fact that he can joke with a woman and not be opposed to shaking their hands, you know what fighters you are. You have no self-control. Really? You can't shake a woman's hand and not get your dick hard?
They're too busy thinking about the shorts.
I'm not shitting on your religion. Let me specify that. I'm shitting on you and your lack of self-control.
Can't focus the shorts.
Yeah. So, Shavkat. I think you gotta put your money on Shavkat here. Yes, Ian Machado might be able to do it. I do think that there's a better chance than the odds are giving him of Ian winning, even potentially by decision. I know Shavkat has a 100% finish rate, but I think Gary would know how to stick in there long enough, and I think he's composed enough that he can make adjustments later in the fight. But even if it gets later, Shavkat, I think Shavkat might catch him with a punch maybe later, like something that comes around the guard. Gary, it's not that dropping his hands gets him in trouble. It's that when he drops his hands, his head doesn't move. You can drop your hands, you gotta move your head. You gotta
be like Alex.
You gotta distance yourself. Something. He just doesn't. He does one of the two, but he won't do both. But I'm gonna have to go with the funny guy. I'm gonna have to go with the Borat Slayer, Shavkat.
Yeah, personality-wise, I like Shavkat better. Ian's just a little too cringe for me. And you know what's fucked? I actually don't think he's like. I think that's what he's actually like. You can't be that cringy, dude, and just like, you know.
That's just what he's like.
That's what he's like.
He's a visual learner. His wife has videos. Like, he's just this guy. You know,
he's just this guy.
I think he knows that everybody would hate if a cuck became a champion. He knows it would piss everybody off.
I think I'm going with Shavkat here, but in terms of, the underdog parlay, or if you want like a live underdog, I'd sprinkle Gary here plus 295.
Yeah,
it's a live underdog. It could happen. You never know. And I'll take the plus 295 running. Honestly, you could probably parlay this, Volkov, and we'll talk about the main event, but those three underdogs and get like a little quick 10 for 10 plus 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, it's very possible. It's very possible.
And now we're wrapping it up. The Korean Superboy, the Japanese Superboy, Kai Asukara. Dude, they want him. They know this kid's a champion. But and this leads into Hobbs's stance of the rise of Japan. But here's the thing:
we're so back.
We just saw the Japanese Superboy, and he lost. Who did he lose to again? Was it Rob Font? God, it couldn't have been Rob Font. Who the fuck did this kid lose to? Bantamweight. Whatever. Either way, you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm blanking here, but Kai is really, really good. He did have that loss to Manel Cape and Ryzen, though, and we all know how we feel about Manel Cape.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
He does have that loss, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he hits hard. The only man to ever drop Pantoja is Figgy, and Kai has that same power. And Kai I think has a better finishing ability than Figgy, and I think he's gonna be ferocious if he smells the kill. As soon as Pantoja's hurt in any way, he's gonna be looking for it, and I think he'll get him out of there.
Yeah.
The grappling is a factor. 100% the grappling is a factor, especially because you can't knee your opponents. Why can't you knee your opponents? Why? Listen, nothing against the fence.
Then the heavyweights couldn't rabbit punch. Sorry.
No, or grab inside the gloves.
Ooh,
you know?
A little tickle here and there.
Yeah, but nothing against the fence. You can't fucking stomp on a dude's head in the crevice, in the crack of the fucking thing, or you know what I mean? But I do think you should be able to knee your opponents. It's the reason Demetrius Johnson lost in another organization. It shows you that shit works, and that if it was a complete fight, even the GOAT could still lose, because it's a factor that Aljo was trying to get away with for the longest fucking time.
You know what I mean? We're on Aljo's side now. Now we're turning back.
We are, but like...
He's got to win this fight.
He's
really got to win this fight.
Man.
He's got to figure it out. He's got to figure it out.
Please. So I'm gonna go with the Korean Superboy on the Japanese Superboy number 2, Kai Osakara.
You know my predictions of the rise of Japan. I mean, what am I not gonna put my money where my mouth is now? Come on. Mm-hmm. And also I just think the UFC, and I feel bad for Pantoja because nothing that he's doing. You know, he's not doing anything wrong. He's a
great champion,
right? But it's
he's a great champion.
He's not connecting with the people. Like it feels like Dana doesn't really like. You know what I mean? Like it sucks. Also, I think no matter how much the fights ultimately entertain, if he versus Moreno again, I'm gonna shoot myself. So
it's gonna be an old school fucking. That's how they used to do it in
holy
boxing.
Shit! Yeah.
His 9th time trying. Oh my god, he did it! After 9 times, he finally beat a guy.
Yeah, like holy fuck. And again, nothing wrong either of them are doing. Yes. They're both doing it well. They're doing their best, and nothing but respect and love for them. But out of just entertainment value, I'm sorry, Pantoja, get you out of here. Plus, I like the storylines that would open up, right? Because you got this guy debuting, you'll have more people, more influx, more changes, and that can just help grow the sport even more. So I'm sorry, Pantoja. I'm gonna need you to take a dive here. Get your ass out of here. I'll catch you in a couple years. Maybe you can come back. But for now, yeah.
Listen, they are hoping that a superstar is born tonight. The fights are happening tonight. I gotta upload this right after we fucking finish.
And that being said, sorry, because we gotta go back.
Yeah.
Because dude, if low key, if Ian Gary does beat Shavkat, he's kind of undeniable.
Yes.
Right? Right? Like if he pulls that off.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't want to hear shit about Shavkat. No one should say a single bad thing about Shavkat.
I have a prediction.
Okay, what's your prediction?
Great. So, Ian Gary's going to win this fight. That's it. Lock it in. I'm 180. No, listen. No, please listen. Ian wins. He then becomes champion. Later on, he wins again, becomes champion, and then we finally get the Kobe fight for the belt.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, my God.
But come on, how funny would that be? Come on, you're going to tell me you would not die laughing if you saw that matchup made. You're going to tell me you wouldn't fucking cry. We'd have to go... we'd have to go to the weigh-ins. I'm not missing that press conference. It'd be so fucking stupid. I need to go. I'd have to watch it.
It would actually probably be one of the best press conferences in a while. I'm not going to lie to you.
There you go.
Say all the cringe you want.
Listen, man. Let me book. Dana, give me the book. Let me handle business for you. I have... superstar fights. I have people fighting even when they don't make the same weight. Like, what was my BMF fight that I was like, we got to make that happen? It was very funny.
Diego Lopez and... That's a great question. I don't know. Was it Paulo Costa? All right. So, here. Let me pull out my phone. Last part. I'm going to give you guys our bets, and then we're going to wrap this up. Where did I send them? Here we go.
Yes, sir.
What are the bets? Boy, he just asked. I fucking sent them. Go look at them. I'm talking to Jairo.
Chat Daddy Jairo. I know reading's hard.
But we got to do it. We got to do it.
Thanks for finishing that. I lost my place.
We got it. All right. So, 6-pick parlay. Kyle Sakara, Ian Machado, Joshua Van, Chris Weidman, Brian Battle, Surreal Gunn. That's not bad. Plus 6,746 odds.
We only swing home runs here. Don't.
Oh, speaking of home runs, 14-pick parlay. Chris Weidman, Brian Battle, Dominic Reyes, Surreal Gun, Kyle Sakara, Thembo Garembo, Kennedy Nestruco, Chase Hooper, Max Griffin, Joshua Van, Aljamain Sterling, Shavkat Rachmanov, Bryce Mitchell, Litton and Nate. Yeah, plus 65,000 odds.
Got this bread, baby.
Next. I'm they only let me bet $1 on this one. Cody Durden, Randy Brown, Max Griffin, Aljamain Sterling, Duho Choi, Kron Gracie, Alexander Volkov, Ian Machado, Eric Anders, and Kyle Sukara. The payout, if you can't tell by the odds, they only let me bet $1, and don't tail.
Don't tail.
My three, okay, maybe tail this one.
I like this one.
Kai Asukara by finish, Shavkat by finish, and Chase by finish. $5 to win 300. I actually think that's
a good one.
That's a pretty good one.
I think the only one that I have that you don't have right now, it's very simple. It's 10 to win 200. Listen, we kept it easy today. All right?
Okay.
And I'm just going to go first name. Kennedy fight, not to go the distance. Anthony Smith,
Okay.
not to go the distance. Bryce Mitchell, not to go the distance. Cyril Gahn. Do you know what I bet?
Decision.
Not to go the distance. Shavkat, not to go the distance. And Pantoja, not to go the distance.
I think
There's some risks in there.
We know which one he got fucked on. Refer back to this video. You know exactly the one that fucked his parlay.
It's a tough. The parlays are tough this card because the odds are so wide.
Yeah.
You know, and like Jason said at the beginning of the video, I also agree. I think, like, all joking aside, I really do think a lot of the favorites are going to win tonight.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. There's really nothing you can do about it.
Is. So bet on finish rates, realistically, and bet on the Superboy. All right, we got to do an after of this, and I have to head out. I got to change, and we have plans tonight, and then you will see a video from us later tonight as well. Okay.
All right.
Peace.
Take care.